Hello, welcome to Just Vintage Crochet. Let's dive into another mystery pattern. Real quick for my regular viewers, my nails came in. Justin picked these one out. They're sort of a lavendery, silvery color. Remember, if you want to find the nails I wear, there is a link down below. It is not affiliated with me. I happen to love this nail shop and the owner of it. She is an amazing young woman, stay-at-home mom. She homeschools. She just had a baby, and she also puts out an amazing product of her own handmade press-on nails, and they are like pro quality. Just a moment. Her shop is called Golden 30 Nails. Here are the rest of my nails. This is my terrible writing, not her. So these are called glazed donut. They are a bit of a translucent metallic white. I did order another pair called Kyoto Pearl. That's going to be a little more see-through than these, and with a little more sparkle, not sparkle, but they're more pearl. These ones here are called Winter Blue. Very pretty. They are now these aren't regular in her shop. I had to message her and ask her if she could do these in matte for me. But isn't that such a pretty color? And then these ones here are called Pompeii Purple, and they do have a gorgeous purple iridescence to them. And then these are the Unicorn Cat Eye in lavender. In some lighting, they look just straight silver, and other lighting, you can really see the lavender. I ordered another pair of these, except for in pink. So there you go. Got my nails. I went ahead and bought 2 more sets, which should be here in about 2 weeks. That's another thing. They are handmade nails, first come, first serve, unless, of course, you get the rapid, like express. You know, I think she charges a little extra for that. But yeah, they do take about 2 weeks for her to make them and get them to you. So whenever you buy them, you won't get them right away. It can take 2, sometimes 3 weeks. It just depends on how big her order load is. Okay. Anyways, she did offer you guys a discount. Again, not affiliated with me. I make no money. She doesn't send me these specifically to show on camera. This is all of my own doing because she's amazing. And if you ever have to reach out to her, you'll see why I have absolutely fallen in love with the shop. She's just amazing. But yeah, she offers a discount code if you want to click the link down below for your first set. All right, let's pick a mystery pattern. If you are new to the channel, I don't usually run opening ads like that, and it wasn't really even an ad. This isn't an ad at all. This is me promoting a small business, stay-at-home mom. We got to lift each other up. You know what I mean? What I have here is a stack of patterns that were put together for me by my son. So I did not pick these out. These are a true mystery to me. He does not crochet, so to the best of his ability, he blacked out portions of some of these patterns that could give away what the pattern is. He did go ahead and add 5 new patterns. So now we have some patterns from the 1880s in our pile. Okay, well, let's get on with the business of picking our pattern. Okay, number 4. Okay, well, number 4 is going to be one of our 1880s patterns. So that's nice. Changes things up a bit. So, wow, this is really big. Like, everybody could see this. Okay, so I looked at the colors, and I picked what I feel is what I have in my stash that's closest. So it says here, double Berlin wool, which is like a sport weight, but I'm going to be using a worsted or Aran weight. And it says here the stripes, so we'll be working in stripes, are of good contrasting colors, say fawn and blue for the narrow and black and amber for the wide stripes. Begin with fawn. So the closest I have to a fawn, which it's not that close. Fawn is, well, this is the color of fawn right here. So as you can see, this is the closest I have. And a blue, again, this is periwinkle, but it's the only blue I have. Other than this, which I'll be substituting for black because it will be slightly easier to see. This is dark denim. and I'll be using that for the black. And then this is rust, which I'll be using for amber. It's not amber, but amber is sort of a reddish golden color. This is the closest I'm gonna get. So these are my colors right now. So it says to start with fawn. Here we go. All of these yarns call for a 5.5 millimeter. That's 6.5. Let me get my 5. There we go. So I will be using a 5.5, which is the recommended hook size for the yarn. All right, it says here that we will begin with 16 chains. Okay, that's 16 chains. And first row, I need one of these. Okay, I needed to put a deal on there. And bear in mind, if you're new to the channel, one thing that we learned a lot when we first started doing this a few years ago, these stitch terms are not modern US stitch terms at all. These are Victorian era British stitch terms. So a plain double crochet is what we call in the US a single crochet. So single crochet, turn the work at the end of this and every row. Yes. Okay, so we're going to work one row of single crochet and then we move on to row 2. So I'll go ahead and put this down here on row 2 and I'll be right back. All right, my first row of single crochet worked. And it says here, single crochet 15 stitches in the row, inserting the hook into both top threads of the stitches of the preceding row. Now, that's interesting because in the 1800s, pretty much throughout all of the 1800s, it was common practice to just work the back loop only. So, unless otherwise instructed. And so here we are being otherwise instructed. What's row 3? 2 single crochet, take the blue wool. Okay, so we're going to change some things in row 3. So let me just work a row of single crochet really quick. There we go. And I will be right back. Okay, so it wants us to work. I'm only going to move this away so that this doesn't cause everything here to blur. 2 single crochet, 1, 2. Now it says blue wool. Here. 2 single crochet. Take the blue wool over the needle. Insert the hook on the right side to take up the second single crochet stitch of the second previous row, bringing it out to the left of the same stitch and draw the wool through. Blue wool over the needle, insert the hook from the front to take up the next stitch of the second previous row and draw the wool through. Blue wool over the needle, insert the hook to take up the next stitch of the second previous row, strange wording, and draw the wool through. Blue wool over the needle and draw through 5 blue stitches on the needle. Fawn wool over the needle and draw through the 2 stitches on the needle. 3 single crochet with fawn, then again raise the blue loops in the second previous row. Okay. I wonder if I should have finished this stitch with the blue. So I'm going to do that, just assuming. Tighten that one down. Okay, so I think it wants us to go down here to this first row. Insert the hook on the right side to take up the second second single crochet stitch of the second previous row. I know it says double, again, I am translating this into modern US terms. This is British, this is UK, Victorian era stitch terms. Bringing it out, okay. Is it wanting me to go down here and then yarn over? Oh, it did say to wool over first, didn't it? So yarn over, and in the next stitch over, draw up. Then yarn over again, and in the next stitch over, yarn over, and in the next stitch over, till I have 5, right? Well, I got more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe it was just supposed to be 2. Draw through everything like that. No, because then we use the brown to yarn over and pull through the last 2. So pull through 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 6 I pulled through. Did it say to pull through 2 or pull through 3? Pull through the 2 stitches on the needle, then work 3 single crochet in the fawn. So I pulled through 6. Okay. I'm going to take it that whatever this is going to be one-sided. Draw through that and then work. I'm going to float the blue. Okay, 1. That wasn't very tight. 1, 2. And then I think we're changing color again because I read through this. Oh, I'm all the way at the bottom of the screen. Hang on, let me move everything down. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I think, I don't know. We'll see, but I think I'm supposed to repeat. So I'll float the brown as well. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Pull through those 2. And then work 3 single crochet. 1, 2. Well, I only have, it's bowing in a bit. That is interesting though, isn't it? All right, how do we end this? 3 single crochet. Then again, raise blue loops in the second previous row. The first loop at a distance of 1 stitch from the former group, and the others in the next 2 consecutive stitches. Draw through as already described. Work 3 fawn single crochet, another series of blue loops, and 4. I did only start with a total of 15 workable stitches. Now, it did say to do all this in the next stitch, in the next stitch, and in the next stitch, right? In the same stitch. And then it says take up the next stitch. Okay. Try this again. And maybe I'm supposed to come down here into the same stitch. just below, like down here, instead of one over. Take up the blue wool over the needle, insert the hook on the right side to take up the second double crochet stitch. Okay, so yes, paying more attention this time. Okay, bringing it out to the same side and draw the wool through. Blue wool over the needle, insert the hook from right to left, take up the next stitch. Okay, so now we do work the next stitch. Bring that brown over. Okay. Previous row. Hang on. Oh, I got lost. Insert the hook, the second previous row, and take up the next stitch. Okay, I got lost. Hang on. Bringing it out, the same stitch. Bringing it out. Bringing it out to the left of the same stitch. To the left of the same stitch, okay? And draw the wool through. Insert the hook from, take up the next stitch of the second and draw the wool through. Blue wool over, insert the hook to take up the next stitch. Okay. It does keep saying the next stitch. And pull through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then with brown, I might be doing it correct this time. Okay. And I wonder if I'm supposed to work a single crochet here instead of moving over. So that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to switch colors here in the third stitch and do all that again. So here's the stitch I just worked into, and here is the stitch just below it. You can see my fingernail going through it there. And that's the one I'm going to go into. 1, next stitch over, 2, next stitch over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did too many again. But how did it work out this time? This one. I wonder if instead of yarning, should I just draw up a loop, then yarn over into the next. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe that is the way it's supposed to be. And then I'm going into the stitch above the third, the last loop I made. 1, 2. Well, I might as well keep that one worked in. 3. Kind of messy on the back. Okay, but I'm not going to have room to work 4 single crochet, so I'm still somehow not getting the counts quite right. Because if I work here, here, and here, there aren't going to be 4, there's going to be 3 stitches to work in. Oh, I'm going to keep going. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Well, now there will be 4, actually. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, because I'm so used to having to skip this stitch whenever you do stitches like this. But I do think maybe we're meant to work in that. 1, I'm just going to carry the blue. 2, 3, and 4. All right, well, it's really uneven. I don't know if it's, oh, now I'm too high. Dang it. Can't win today. It seems really uneven, which I know is going to drive a lot of you crazy. It's already driving me crazy. It's just really off balance. Unless they're going to stagger, who knows? But then if it were going to stagger, it would be where the first row were far apart, the next row were close together, then far apart. So I don't know. I don't know. I need a picture. I just read the rest of the pattern. I think I'm going to play around with this and do a little alterating. So it says here, it's a very simple pattern, very quick. And it says here, you know, we're going to be alternating a row or 2 of single crochet and then making what they're calling tufts. And then at the end, it says the wide stripes are worked in the same manner using black wool for the ground and amber for the raised loops, beginning with 24 chain. Allow for 5 tufts in every pattern row. Work as many stripes as are required for the width of, look, it's a blanket. It's a baby blanket. And join them together with a row of single crochet. Finish off the top and bottom with a deep fringe. If you're making baby blankets, never put fringe on them. It is a choking hazard, and also babies tend to wrap, you know, like your hair, they'll wrap it around their finger and it will hurt them. Never, ever put fringe on a baby blanket. Unless it's short fringe, like let's say you're making a fleecy blanket, you can do short fat fringe. So fringe that's only an inch long and it's real fat. And so it's like the size of your thumb, basically, just like that along the bottom. That's safe fringe. But with like a thread, never. So I think what I'm going to do, because this is off balance and it's driving me bananas, I think I'm going to work 3 stitches in, 3 single crochet in, and 3 single crochet out. That's pretty much what I'm going to do here. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. And I'm going to untangle all this real quick. Also, instead of floating, I'm going to carry. I think it looked a little cleaner carrying it. I do like floating, but if this is supposed to be a blanket, now we know what it is. Like, spoiler, it's a cover Peter. I can't pronounce the word ever, but it basically means baby blanket. It's like a bassinet blanket. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to carry the blue along. Of course, I'm not going to make a whole blanket, just a sample size. And hopefully we have a picture with this. All these Victorian era patterns don't always have pictures. Most of the time they do. The mid-century on, we typically have pictures, but early, like the early Victorian era, 1830s to the 1850s, don't always have pictures. Okay, so starting over, now we're 3 in. I'm going to go ahead and work this stitch pattern to the end and we'll see how it looks. Starting with right below the stitch I just worked in, right down here. And I'm going to try to carry everything. And I'm not yarning over for the first one. Or maybe, I mean, if I'm really playing around with this, does it have to be pulled through 5? Can I pull it through 6? I kind of like the way it looked through 6. I mean, who wears the cop? Who's going to arrest me for this? Who's going to take me away? No one. Absolutely no one. 2. So basically you're working 3 stitches like this and pull through, leaving the last 2. I kind of like the way that looks better. It just looks cleaner, doesn't it? And then secure it with the brown, which I should have left the brown over here. Ugh, I gotta do that again. It's gonna drag across. All right, leave the brown hanging down here. All right. 1, I am gonna try to carry the tail, this blue tail along. 2, a little bit anyway. 3, make it look clean. Yarn over, pull through 6 instead of 5, and then secure it with brown, and see, that looks better. All right, and then this is the last stitch I worked. Well, the stitch right above it, I'm just gonna go right into that. Carry this blue. That's enough for the tail. I don't want it to be bulky. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And it also says to cut the blue off at the end of each row, but I'm going to carry it along. All right. I'm going to keep my brown out of the way. Here we go. 1. I'm drawing way up on this too. 2. I hope this is correct. If not, it's a cool stitch. A happy accident if it's wrong. No. Yeah, right here. Carry that blue along. 1, 2. I don't want to do that too tight. There we go. And then 3. Make sure I'm not working up too high. I probably was. I don't know my camera placement today, y'all. It's a mess. Okay, I can do 1 more now. 1, 2, and getting all tripped up here. 3, but the stitch right here, so this is the one I'm going to go into. This stitch right here is going to be my first of 3 to end. So it should balance out. Pull through, and I will leave my blue here, not carry it along, but I'll pick it up on the way back. In fact, I'm going to bring it to the front. And then going into that stitch there, 1, 2, and 3. We have achieved balance. And I like the way these tufts look with pulling through 6. They have way more definition. They're more 2D, 3D. They're nicer looking, I think, in my humble opinion. All right, so now it says for row 4, same as second row, and second row was single crochets across. So I didn't read all the way through. I wound up skipping to the end. So 5th row, we start working the pattern again, the tufts. So here we go. 1, 2, here on 3, I'm going to pick up that blue and carry it along, just like so. Bring it out this way. That was 4 and 5. Make sure I keep my 15 stitch count at 6 and 7. The only thing I don't like about carrying is, well, that, and it's going to make the material so stiff and rigid. I really don't want to have to cut at the end of each row. Ugh. This can be a one-sided. I mean, the back side isn't the prettiest, right? The front is prettier. I suppose if you're making a blanket, you could cover the back in something soft like a cotton or a fleece or even a satin, so you wouldn't see this. So I'm going to make this on that basis. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and float this, which means I need to bring this around to the back after all. I am going to float this. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And floating is where you simply trap your yarn in on occasion. That way it doesn't compromise the flexibility or the visual appeal of it. So I'll work every blue, I'll go ahead and work the stitch, the blue in, every blue tuft. So here's a blue tuft. I'll go ahead and bring this over, make sure not to make it too tight, and incorporate that. And that's a float. Pretty much on the back, it's going to have floats going across all the way. But I think it would be best to cover the back with something. So you wouldn't see it anyway. Pick this back up, bring it over, work it in on that blue, and then hang it back. And I didn't count my stitches. I want to give it a little stretch so that it doesn't cause any buckling, and see the front, it looks all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I have my stitch count. Now for row 5, it says 4 single crochet and then blue over. So are we actually going to stagger them now? I did do this differently. So let's see how this works out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be right over the top of the last one. So here we go. Let's see how that looks. I may decide to change this one too. Okay, so coming down here, I'm going to yarn over first. 1. Oh, I need to keep that brown though out of the way. Keep it all the way out of the way, because right here, this location here is where I need to pull it up to secure that stitch. 1, next stitch over, 2, and then the next stitch over, 3. Pull through almost all of them. Bring up the brown, see it comes straight up. To secure it, now let's see. It's askew. And did I go too far over? No, but it is askew. I'm not crazy about it. So let's do this. We're just rewriting this pattern. Mystery who? All right. I'm going to have to bring the blue with me a little bit. So that was 4. Let's see here, 5 and 6. That would give us 2 tufts. Let's give this a try. So the 6th one, I actually need to add blue, and I may need to go over one more. Who knows? Who knows? We are working with an uneven number of stitches, 15. So let's try this. I need to keep the blue back away. No, let's see. 1. There's only 3 stitches in the middle. 2. This might work. 3. What do we think? I think it kind of works. I think it kind of works. Then coming back into this stitch directly on top, here's the last stitch I worked, so the one directly on top. And I will bring that blue along. That's 1, 2. Let's see how many I need to work in between to achieve that same look. I think just 3. Yeah, I think just 3. Because see, the last one I started right here and ended here. So start here, end here. So on the 3rd stitch, I begin switching color. And then right here on this side, go 1. If this isn't the way it's supposed to look, it's the way it's going to look today. 2, 3. I feel like I'm being creative here. This is nice. I've missed this. Okay, close this off. I kind of don't care if it's wrong at this point. I mean, yeah. So here we go. Move this stitch aside and go 1, 2. I could do without all this. I could do without this business right here, though. Could. 3, 4, and 5 were uneven. It's uneven, but it looks even. So isn't that what really matters, is that it looks even? What do you think? What do you think? Let's do this again. Let's try it with the 3 across. Next one up. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, I don't need to count. Uh-oh. Hooked my yarn. I am going to float that blue. So I will get it over the hook. I could have done that a little more gracefully. That's okay. Couldn't quite see where my stitch was. It's right here. I don't want that to tug. And I'm going to have to float this down over here as well. Because I need 1, 2, 3 stitches in. So I'm going to bring the blue over here to the 3rd stitch, so that it's ready for me to go. This is the yarn that has static cling. It sticks to me. All right. Let's see if I can make this work. If I can make this look interesting. So 1, 2, and 3. You know what? I'm causing these yarns to cross by bringing that brown one forward. And you just let it hang back. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. I didn't yarn over. And 3. Did I go down too low? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Pull through. And then pull this aside because this is the first stitch I need right here. 1, 2, and 3. I know if I don't bring the brown forward, my yarn will stop crossing. I need to uncross it. Look at this. I need to uncross it. I'll be right back. Okay, that is better. They're clearly separated now. All right. And just like last time, 1, 2, and 3. Pull through all but 2. Let that go back. It's going to want to cross. Then I pull this one aside to expose that stitch there. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, and 3. And they're crossing. Okay, there's probably just no way to avoid it outside of using a bobble, and I am not going to do that. Then I just push this aside to expose that stitch there. 1, 2, and 3. What do we think? Wow. Okay, I'm going to work this up a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and make another sample stripe with these 2 colors, and then we'll stitch them together, and we'll get an idea of what the blanket is supposed to look like. Like, I need to make a couple of these. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have worked a total of 4 sample sizes. Here is the 4th one. I would say I would need 1/3 of the big one for the end, because at the end it's just going to look like this, which is still fun and cute, but I kind of want this, the big one, to encapsulate the 2 small ones. But I'll show you how I stitch them together, which I think you guys can figure out. These are a lot of fun. As soon as I'm done stitching this together, I'm going to make one with just solid color. No color changing, to see if it still looks pretty cool without having to go through all of this. This one was a mess, but I finally got it figured out by the time I did the orange ones and how to make it look slightly more uniform in the back. Yes, it's a mess, but it is what we like to call controlled chaos compared to the blue one. All right, so obviously you want the 2 right sides to touch like that, and then you will sew it there. And I'm just doing what the pattern says, which is a simple single crochet seam. And since the edges are kind of a scattered mess, I just put it wherever it will go, as long as I try to keep them evenly spaced. And I do sew them with the brown or with this fawn color. I don't know, what is it called? What is it even called? What are you called? Cafe? I can't do French at all. That. Every time I try to say French words on here, I sound like I'm gagging. It's embarrassing and offensive to every French person who has eyes to see and ears to hear, so I'm not even going to try. Okay, so just going to work a single crochet and keeping everything as even as possible. Just like that all the way to the end. Obviously, I mean, not halfway through, right? That would be weird. Like, okay, done. Just kidding. Can you imagine? Do you ever say that when you hear some of these YouTubers? I know before I started making videos, I know that saying all the way to the end, these are like filler words. And I understand some patterns don't want you to do it all the way to the end, but it's obvious that pattern wouldn't want you to do it all the way to the end. But whenever it's obvious it needs to, and YouTubers have to use filler words to keep from, too much dead air, saying things like stating the obvious, it's kind of funny. I used to talk back to the screen and go, really? You don't want me to stop halfway? Now I am one of those people who says all the way to the end, and I do it unironically. Totally unironically. Okay, I'm going to weave in these ends, but here is how my little sample, this is really unique. Let me pan out a little bit. Okay. It definitely looks Victorian, doesn't it? That is so cool. I'm afraid I didn't get this one too even. It's looking a little wonky. But I'm so new to this, I don't have it mastered. But yeah, I really like this. It is definitely giving me Victorian British. I am obsessed. Come on. Okay, I got to know what you guys think. But before you go, let me go ahead and whip up a quick sample in just this light brown, and I'll be right back. So there is a quick sample for you to look at with it just all in one solid color, and it's more reversible this way. This is technically the front. The back is a little more loose as far as the strands go, but not super loose, but it is more reversible. It's also more even because you don't have two different lengths or parts of it aren't doubled, in other words. It's all just one single strand. I was also thinking, because I super like the way this looks, all these different colors. I especially like this. But you could do something like this, and with your regular yarn here that's smooth, you could change it up by adding texture to just the puffy parts with a textured yarn. You see how I have this? This is Red Heart Super Saver brushed, and it's got this sort of faux mohair look to it. Imagine that, just the puffy parts with this sort of textured yarn. You can really play around a lot with it. This works up really fast whenever you don't change color, but you lose so much of this interesting effect. This works up pretty fast too, even with the color change, but this took me just a couple of minutes to whip up. Way faster. So before we reveal how everything looks, or not everything looks, but the title and everything, here is the pattern. Just go ahead and get screenshots. You're going to have to take 2 because I can't get it all into one screen. So there's that. And then the lower half there. That's the whole pattern. It's worth having. Take your screenshots, print it, rewrite it, rewrite it with your own handwriting, whatever you need to do. Okay, I'm going to go and get the title. Hopefully it has a picture. I will be right back. And there is the picture. So you'll want to take a screenshot of this too to go with the pattern. But there you go. Let's get a good look. I think pretty much got it. Mine is a little more stringy looking. But there you go. I mean, bear in mind, this is a drawing. Now, it's a drawing from image, but it is a drawing. I think that's very cool. You can see the fringe again with baby blankets. Just opt for no fringe. A, it's less work in the end. And B, it's less stress for mother and for yourself wondering, is the baby going to get hurt? The baby won't get hurt if you don't put any fringe. There you go. Okay, well, that was our 1880s mystery pattern. This is one for the books. Love it. I want to keep going. I don't have enough of these colors. I don't. I just have the one ball of this like chocolatey, milk chocolate brown. I just don't have enough. I don't have any more of that periwinkle blue. That's all I have. But I'm not so crazy about the blue. I wished I had gone a different route with this. Maybe this blue here would have been nice. And then have the orangey color be the extravagant pop of color. That would have been really nice to have this denim blue instead of the periwinkle blue. But you know what? Colors like this, it checks out with the Victorian era. It really does. Okay, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you think and that you're going to actually use this pattern and make something with it. How fun. A pillowcase. Look at that. A little couch pillow right there. Or you could just go the full shebang and make a blanket. Make a little lap blanket. Yeah. Okay, guys, love you lots. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out the link to Golden 30 Nails. Again, it's not a commission link. She's just a wonderful person who makes a great product. And let Justin know what you think of the color. There, you can kind of see some of that cat's eye effect. I know the camera doesn't pick up on certain things too much. So pretty. Okay, guys, love you lots. See you real soon. Bye.